Europe has unveiled one of its biggest military initiatives for Ukraine since the war began. Meeting in Paris, leaders of the Coalition of the Willing launched a new anti-ballistic coalition and pledged deeper defense cooperation with Kyiv, signaling a broader European effort to strengthen Ukraine's air defense capabilities.
Today, the first founding meeting of the Anti-Ballistic Coalition took place. It is important that there are representatives of European companies, those who produce critical components for defense systems. In Ukraine, we have a missile, but these are only parts of a system. Together, within the next 12 months, we can make this missile, this A system, preferably mass-produced, free, which will cover the shortage, be inexpensive, and at times allow the whole of Europe to equip itself with new anti-ballistic capabilities and provide protection to those in need worldwide.
President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine has launched the FREYA program with European partners to jointly develop an anti-ballistic defense system. He acknowledged that Kyiv still faces shortages of interceptor missiles and said Europe must build additional capabilities beyond existing Western air defense systems.
Nevertheless, there are times in Ukraine when we don't have missiles to intercept ballistic missiles. That is a fact, and that is the truth. That's why we have started a new anti-ballistic program, which includes the coordination of political, governmental, and industrial dimensions, and which can provide mass anti-ballistic weapons, systems, and missiles to them. We named this program FREYA.
French President Emmanuel Macron announced that the Coalition of the Willing's multinational force is now ready to act after months of planning. He said military exercises will be held in countries neighboring Ukraine to test deployment plans, while adding any deployment would depend on a future ceasefire.
The coalition, therefore, indeed has this multilateral force for Ukraine, now ready to act. The HQ of this force organizes this planning and turns it, week after week, into concrete operational engagement. In this regard, we decided today on exercises that will be held in the coming months. They were officially presented to us earlier. They will therefore be deployed in Ukraine's neighboring countries to validate our deployment plans and demonstrate that we are ready, determined, and credible, on land, in the air, and at sea.
European leaders also announced fresh military commitments for Ukraine. France outlined expanded cooperation on air defense and missile production, while Britain confirmed it would participate in the European Union's $90 billion Ukraine support loan to help Kyiv procure ammunition, air defense systems, and long-range missiles.
That the UK will participate in the EU €90 billion Ukraine support loan. This agreement will ensure that Ukraine continues to receive the military capabilities it needs most. It creates a new route for Ukraine to procure capabilities from UK industry, including ammunition, air defence systems and long-range missiles.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said Europe would continue backing Ukraine while increasing pressure on Russia through sanctions and military assistance. He urged Moscow to agree to a ceasefire and negotiations, saying the coalition remains committed to supporting Ukraine's long-term security.
Russia will not achieve its war aims, and we want to make use of these diplomatic and military developments of the past few days and weeks together. Volodymyr, we are backing the brave Ukrainians. We are also increasing the pressure on Russia with what we have discussed here today. We are not doing this to continue the war, but we are doing this to end the war as quickly as possible. Our message to Russia is therefore, it is time to come to the negotiating table. It is time to agree on a ceasefire. It is time to end the unnecessary bloodshed in Ukraine.
The Paris summit highlighted Europe's expanding role in Ukraine's long-term defense strategy through joint missile defense projects, industrial cooperation, and security planning. The latest commitments underline sustained European backing for Kyiv as the conflict continues, with wider geopolitical implications for regional security and relations with Russia.